Hello guys, welcome to class. So in today's class, I'm going to be teaching you how to take accurate body measurements. Taking accurate body measurements is very important in fashion design because if your measurement is inaccurate, definitely your pattern drafting, your cutting, and your sewing process will be wrong. The first measurement I'm going to take is the shoulder width measurement. And there is a joint on your client's body that guides you in taking that measurement. But for this mannequin, I already have it. So I place my tape here, I place it here. It gives me my shoulder width measurement. Also note that if this measurement is not correct, there's a tendency that the sleeve will not be placed on the proper part of the body, and that's why you see some dresses, instead of the sleeve starting on the proper joint, it's kind of tend to fall. The next important measurement is across chest for the front. Across chest, place your tape here and also like this. You get your across chest measurement. Then we'll measure our bust circumference. Bust circumference is the fullest. You take the bust circumference on the fullest part of the chest. Place your tape like this, and you get like this. Sorry. You get your bust circumference measurement. When taking measurements, try not to place your hand in between the client's body and the tape rule. Be very cautious of it. If you place your hand that way, you are adding to the client's measurement and you end up having fitting problems. The next measurement is the bust height. The bust height, that's your shoulder to the nipple point. Place your tape. Make sure you are placing your tape on the right point of the shoulder. Shoulder to the nipple point to give you your bust height. And then the bust span is just nipple to nipple. Nipple to nipple. That will give you your bust span measurement. There's another important measurement, which is the under bust circumference. Under bust circumference. Place your tape round the under bust, and whatever you get is your under bust circumference. You also need your shoulder to under bust. Shoulder to under bust. Then for the waist, there's a natural part of the waist. This part, the tiniest part, like where your elbow meets, your waist. This part is your natural waist. The part that when you bend, it folds inside. That's how to get your natural waist. So for this class, I'm going to be tying this tape round the natural waist. So that it will guide me taking the measurement. Why I'm doing this is because I want to be able to get the accurate measurement for the shoulder to waist point for the front and for the back. So I'll place my tape here. Whatever this gives me is my shoulder to waist measurement. Some people call it half length. And definitely this measurement is different from the measurement for the shoulder to waist for the front is different from that of the back. Let me show you that. So place this, and it gave me a different digit. You have to be conscious of this when you are taking measurements on your client's body. This is natural. Take note, especially when you are making a gown. Take note of this natural waist. Natural waist. But for a skirt, most people put their skirt like on their tummy button. So that's where you take your waist. But for a gown, this is where your waist will be, your natural waist. Then we have the hip depth. For the hip depth, you place your tape rule on your natural waist and then down to your hip. That's the fullest part of the bottom. That gives you your hip depth. But if it's for a skirt, you just simply place your tape rule where the skirt begins, which is somewhere here, and then you get your hip depth. Then on this point, this is where you place your tape rule to get your waist circumference. So after taking the waist circumference, the next measurement is the hip circumference. Place your tape rule on the fullest part here, and then you get your hip circumference. Other measurements include the measurements for the, I'm going to use this sleeve measurement. get your arm circumference, you place your tape here, and try not to make it too tight. Try not to make it too tight. Just place your tape and then get your measurements. For a long sleeve dress, try to take your measurements with the elbow folded like this. This mannequin cannot give me what I want. Try to take your measurements from your shoulder to the elbow folded, and then place it. What I'm trying to say is this: place your tape like this, get to your elbow, and also continue down to your wrist. Taking your measurement in this folded way helps you to get the accurate long sleeve measurement so that it doesn't jump and becomes shorter than what you need. Then you take your elbow circumference. It's also good to take it, also advisable you take it while the elbow is bent to avoid this part being too tight when the client wears the dress. Also, the wrist circumference, that's for a long sleeve dress. There are other points for the round sleeve measurement depending on where the sleeve would stop at. If it's for a short sleeve dress, let's assume for a short sleeve that will stop here, that means definitely this point will be your round sleeve measurement for that particular dress. And if it's a three-quarter, you take the length to the three-quarter point and then take the round sleeve, because for a client, the round sleeve for the short sleeve, three-quarter, and the long sleeve is different. And another thing I forgot to mention, when taking this wrist measurement for a long sleeve, try not to make it too fitted like this. It will be very difficult for the client to pull off the dress. So try and make it in a way that the tape can still come out of the client, and so that it will be easy to wear and also put off. So these measurements I just taught you are the common measurement, the basic measurements. You may need to add other measurements depending on what particular dress you're making. For example, you are making a top or a blouse, you will need to place your tape rule and then take your blouse measurements. If it's a gown, short gown, place your tape rule on the shoulder. All vertical measurement starts from the shoulder. Place your tape rule on the shoulder and stop wherever you want the gown to stop. If it's for a skirt, you place your tape rule on this lower waist and then take your measurement down to where you want the skirt to end. So that will be all for this class. I'm sure you learned quite a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also click on the notification bell. Thank you.